If you watch our videos regularly, if you're a subscriber to this channel, then you've probably seen a couple of videos where we're cooking something on a Traeger grill, or you've heard us mention a Traeger grill. Now, a Traeger grill, as we all know, is a pretty large investment. They're not cheap. So we wanted to take the time to tell you about our Traeger grill to kind of help some of you that are out there thinking about maybe purchasing one and whether or not you think it would be a good investment or a good way to spend your money. Here's the story behind ours. We were kind of skeptical of it. We thought it was just a fad, just a trend. We had a four burner gas powered grill that we bought from Lowe's for like 150 bucks. It lasts us, 2 or 3 years. Actually, we're still using it every now and then. 150 bucks, and then you compare that to the price of a Traeger, and we're just like, yeah, we don't need that. It can't be worth that much. We also had a propane vertical smoker, which we have a video of on this channel, and we would use that from time to time. So we just kind of turned a blind eye to the Traeger grills. We kept hearing more and more about them, and eventually, we started to look into them because just kept hearing so much about them. And friends of ours would post pictures on social media, of stuff they cooked on them. And then everything happened with COVID, and all the restaurants shut down. You work a long, hard week. Everything's really stressful at that time, and you look forward to maybe going out to eat, just unwinding, not having to cook your own meal, just, eating something different, and that wasn't available. So, as a way to kind of supplement that, we looked into the Traeger grills, and we decided that we were going to buy one. After we tasted some food off of them, and we realized how convenient they are, how simple they are to use, and how time saving they are to use compared to having to stand by our propane powered vertical smoker and keep checking the water and adding more chips and things like that. And the other big thing for us was we have a pellet stove in our house that we use for heating, and the Traeger grill works the same way. It's got the auger that feeds the pellets, and everything is just simply controlled. So we went to order one, but because of the pandemic, everybody was ordering them. So many people weren't going on vacation. They had this money to spend from, that they were saving up to go on vacation, and they were buying these grills. You go on the website, model after model after model is on back order. You go to your local Ace hardware store, sold out. Didn't have anything there. You go to some of these other places that sell Traeger grills, nothing. We had to wait, and eventually, we were originally gonna go with what was the 780, and because they were back ordered for so long, and every time they would come in, they would sell out right away. We ended up going with the Model 34, which they had on sale, and they still run a sale on that now. I think it's down to I think it's around 699. I think that's what we actually paid for ours. It was on sale, and I wasn't even really looking into that one because, of course, if you're gonna spend that kind of money, you want the newest thing, you want all the gadgets and bells and whistles. But that one was available. It was a better price, and we thought, hey, why not? And the reason we were going with the 34 compared to a smaller one was because, well, we have a pretty large family. There's at least five of us here at the time. There were six of us here full time when we bought this thing last year. So now we always have at least five people here eating. And because we bought this thing and we started playing around with it and experimenting and making different stuff on it, we just love the taste of everything that comes off of that. Uh, we started to talk about it like our friends do that have them. And then we started to pass around some leftovers to people in the family and things like that. So next thing you know, we've got some friends that come over on a Sunday evening for supper. We'll have some family over, and it's brought a lot of us back together again. It's given us a reason to get together and have these dinners together, and it's just an awesome thing. When I was a kid, every Saturday night, my dad would cook out on an old Weber charcoal grill we had. My grandparents, they would come over, and sometimes my aunt, uncle, and a couple of my cousins, they would come over. But every Saturday night, we would cook out on that charcoal grill, and at least my grandparents would come over, and it was us. And it's really cool now that we got this Traeger grill, and it's inspired all this stuff that now we're starting to have, something like that of our own again. Another thing that's happened since we bought this Traeger grill is we go out grocery shopping and we're going around the grocery store and it's like, you know what? I bet this would taste really good on the Traeger. How long do you think it would take to smoke one of these? You know, it's opened up our creativity for meals now. We've been able to just do a whole lot of different stuff on there that we wouldn't have even attempted before because it's just so easy and convenient, and we're so curious about what it's going to taste like with that wood fired taste. Um, when you cook something on there, it is a completely different taste than cooking it in the oven. And for us, what we like to do is whatever we're cooking on there. Well, I shouldn't say whatever, but any kind of meat that we're cooking on there, what we usually do is we'll start out smoking it for a while. And when you smoke the meat, what happens is it kind of crisps the outside. It's hard to explain, but you get that layer around the outside that cooks before the rest of the meat on the inside does. And what that does is it locks in the juices in that meat then. And we've cooked stuff on there where we've done this process where we smoke it for like an hour or two and then cook it the rest of the way. And what's really cool about it is a couple of days later, you have these leftovers and you go to microwave them and they're just as good and juicy and tender as the day you took them off the grill because all those juices are trapped inside there. It's amazing. Something else that really caught our attention with the Traeger is the fact that it's more versatile than a regular gas grill or the propane smoker we have because with the Traeger, you can use it for smoking, you can use it for grilling, or you can use it for baking. I mean, it does pretty much everything in between. Now, that was our reason for going with the bigger one. Like I said, we have a pretty large family to begin with, but I made it very clear that if we were going to spend the money on one of these things, I wanted to be able to do the majority of Thanksgiving dinner on this sucker. So that's what we did last year. Our first year we had the Traeger grill. We smoked the turkey on it. We cooked our sides on there as we were carving up the turkey. We put a bunch of stuff on that thing. We really packed it full, and that was really cool to do. And everybody loved it. Everything had a different taste to it than it did, years past. Especially that turkey. The turkey got amazing. We had some sausage stuffing that we put on there. Smoked it for a little bit, cooked it on there, and man, came out awesome. It's a whole different taste. It's a whole different flavor that it brings to it. And then you got all the different pellets, all the different types of pellets that can add different flavors to it because of the smoke they're putting off. And it's a really worthwhile investment if you're into those kind of foods. And if you just want the convenience, if you want the ease of operation, because this thing you just plug it into a regular household outlet and you set the knob, the dial to whatever temperature it is that you're going to cook your stuff at. Put the pellets in there, the thing fires up, and that's it. It keeps a consistent temperature, and you don't have to keep going back and checking it. As long as your hopper is full of pellets, you're good to go. And it takes a while to go through a bunch of pellets. I mean, we've smoked some roasts on there that we're cooking for 6 hours or so. Turkey went a long time, and we didn't run out of pellets in that hopper. So it gives you an idea of how efficient these things are and how easy they are to use. Now, speaking of ease of use, they're also pretty easy on your electric bill because the most power that it draws is when it's first igniting the pellets. After that, it's a fan blowing and a auger turning to turn the pellets into that flame that's burning in there. And that's pretty much it. That's all just a low draw. And if you're wondering how low it is, we use ours pretty much all the time with our Ego Nexus power station. That's the 2,000-watt inverter from Ego Power Equipment, and we have no problems powering that on there. I mean, we take that out there, we plug the Traeger into it, we can hook up some lights to it, we can charge our cell phones on it all at the same time. We were literally running our Traeger off of that thing and a DeWalt table saw last Sunday, no problems. So that's how low of a draw that this Traeger grill has. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking here, if you've got that combination and you're into going to the football games and stuff, you're into tailgating, that is a winning combination right there because that means this Traeger now can go on the road with you wherever you go. It has just become a mobile, uh, grilling stand. You can set this thing up anywhere and you can cook on it. And, the possibilities are endless with that combination right there. So for any of you that are out there contemplating possibly buying a Traeger grill, you're just on the fence about it, you're not sure if it's worth the investment, you're not sure if you're going to be able to use it enough, and you're just wondering what you can do with it, and you have a few extra questions about it here and there that you're just him hawing around about it. I can tell you from our experience, it was worth every penny we paid for that thing. We use it as much as possible, not because we have to, but because we want to. We're a year into this thing, and we use it regularly. Um, Again, I can't tell you enough how much it means to me to be able to have these meals, where we have family and we have friends coming over and stuff, because it takes me back to my childhood. We used to do that all the time, and it brings us all closer. Um, it's just it's opened a lot of doors for us, and it seems really stupid to say that because it's just a grill, but it's the fact that it's something new. It's something that's so versatile, and you can do these different things with it that the possibilities are just endless. If you go onto the Traeger Grill's website and you look at the recipes on there, you're gonna be amazed at the stuff you can do. You can cook desserts on this thing. It's just unreal. So I would highly recommend it. That's basically what we're trying to say here is we highly recommend it. We think it was a worthwhile investment, especially for us. We got a large family, so we can open that thing up and we can throw a whole bunch of burgers on there if we want to, or we can cook a nice roast on there for a couple hours, smoke that, pork roast for a while, and get that thing coming out nice and juicy in the middle, nice and crisp on the outside with that nice apple or cherry smoke flavor on there. Can't beat that stuff. And getting it all in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to go out to a steakhouse. You don't have to go out to a barbecue joint or a diner or anything like that. I mean, what could be better than that? So that was the point of this video. We hope that we were able to help some of you guys out that might have been on the fence. If you have any questions or anything about Traeger grills, leave some comments on this video. We'd be happy to answer based on our experience, and I'm sure there's other people out there that can add a lot more than us that have been using them for a lot longer. So don't hesitate to ask any questions or leave any feedback. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.